First broadcast in the early 1980s, Auf Wiedersehen, Pet arrived at a moment when British television rarely showed working-class life with such honesty and emotional weight. Its impact came not from spectacle, but from recognising experiences many viewers had lived themselves. Fact 1.
There you go, Nev, that makes it all worthwhile, eh? First beer packet.
And bummers last.
Auf Wiedersehen, Pet was created by writers Dick Clement and Ian Lafreniere, who were already well known for exploring British masculinity and labour through television drama. The idea emerged from real social conditions during the late 1970s and early 1980s, when unemployment in Britain was rising sharply. Many skilled construction workers were forced to seek work abroad, particularly in mainland Europe. Germany became a focal point because of its booming construction industry at the time. The title itself reflects the mixture of humour and displacement felt by British workers overseas. Clement and Lafreniere wanted to depict this experience without romanticising it. Their research involved speaking directly to construction workers who had taken similar jobs. These conversations shaped the show's grounded tone and dialogue. The writers deliberately avoided presenting the men as simple stereotypes. Instead, they focused on how work affected identity, pride, and friendship. The concept centred on men who were competent at their jobs but uncertain about their futures. Economic necessity rather than adventure drove the story. This framing gave the series a serious foundation beneath its humour. The characters were written as products of their social environment. Their struggles reflected wider national anxieties about work and status. This realism distinguished the series from many contemporaries. The origins of the show were rooted in observation rather than invention.
Look, I reckon.
Would you ask him to come outside, please?
What for? Does he get his job back?
They want him for the television news.
Fact 2.
I wonder when we get our Red Cross parcels, eh? Chocolate and condensed milk.
The casting of Auf Wiedersehen, Pet played a crucial role in its credibility and emotional impact. Tim Healy was cast as Dennis Oz Osborne, a role that would define his career. Kevin Whately played Neville Hope, whose quiet insecurity contrasted sharply with Oz's bravado. Jimmy Nail portrayed Leonard Geordie Boswell, bringing both vulnerability and aggression to the character. Nail's own background in the Northeast gave authenticity to Geordie's anger and humour. The ensemble was completed by actors who had strong regional identities. This helped ground the series firmly in British working-class culture. The accents were not softened or standardised for television. This choice was unusual at the time and added to the show's realism. The actors spent time understanding the construction work their characters performed. Physical labour was portrayed as skilled and demanding, not incidental. Relationships between characters developed naturally rather than through plot contrivance. Conflicts arose from personality clashes and shared pressures. The casting allowed humour to emerge organically from character interaction. Each actor brought a distinct rhythm and presence to the group. No single character dominated the narrative completely. This balance reinforced the sense of collective experience. The cast's chemistry was central to the show's success. Their performances ensured the drama felt lived in rather than staged.
I am prepared to give you the severance pay, and I will get it back of him. Here.
Fact 3.
I have today many problems on the autobahn.
The tone of Auf Wiedersehen, Pet combined humour with emotional seriousness in a way that was uncommon on British television at the time. Comedy emerged from banter, insults, and shared frustrations rather than jokes written for punchlines. The series explored masculinity without celebrating aggression or emotional repression. Characters often struggled to articulate fear, homesickness, and disappointment. Friendship functioned as both support system and pressure cooker. The men relied on each other while also competing for status and respect. Work was depicted as a source of pride but also exhaustion. The physical toll of construction labour was never ignored. Loneliness was a recurring theme, especially for characters separated from family. Relationships back home suffered under long absences and uncertainty. The show addressed infidelity and emotional distance without sensationalism. Alcohol was shown as a coping mechanism rather than comic excess. Cultural displacement added another layer of tension. The men were guests in another country but rarely felt fully welcome. Language barriers reinforced their isolation. Despite these heavy themes, the series avoided bleakness. Moments of warmth and solidarity balanced the darker elements. This tonal control helped the show resonate with a wide audience.
Hey, my cousin's getting married. Yeah? I'm here on Saturday. Yeah, what's the panic? Bet she's in the club, hey?
Fact 4.
What's this then?
It's the work roster.
When Auf Wiedersehen Pet first aired, it quickly attracted a large and loyal audience. Viewers recognized their own experiences in the characters' lives and conversations. The series was praised for its authenticity and emotional honesty. Critics noted its refusal to patronize or simplify working-class characters. Some responses focused on its strong language and confrontational scenes. These elements were controversial but reflected real speech patterns. Rather than alienating audiences, this realism increased engagement. The show appealed to viewers who felt underrepresented on television. It also attracted audiences beyond its immediate demographic. Many viewers responded to its exploration of friendship and identity. The series performed strongly enough to justify continuation and expansion. Its popularity demonstrated an appetite for socially grounded drama. Discussions around the show often centered on its truthfulness, rather than its entertainment value alone. This marked a shift in how television drama was evaluated. The characters became cultural reference points, catchphrases, and moments entered everyday conversation. The reception confirmed that realism could be commercially viable. It challenged assumptions about what mainstream audiences wanted. The show's success reshaped expectations for similar dramas.
That's not their fault, man. They're over here as sweated labour. They get the worst housing, the lowest wages.
Fact 5.
Why you laugh at us? Right. This man saying, him taking my woman, I cutting.
The long-term impact of Auf Wiedersehen Pet can be seen across British television drama that followed. It helped normalise regional voices and accents on screen. Later series adopted its balance of humour and seriousness. Writers drew inspiration from its character-driven storytelling. The show demonstrated that working-class stories could sustain complex narratives. It influenced portrayals of male friendship by allowing emotional vulnerability. Subsequent dramas treated labour as central to identity rather than background detail. The careers of several cast members were permanently shaped by the series. Tim Healy and Kevin Whately became established television figures. The show's later revivals reflected continued audience attachment. These returns were driven by character legacy rather than nostalgia alone. Viewers remained invested in the men's lives over decades. Academics and critics have cited the series in discussions of class and media. Its themes remain relevant in discussions of economic migration. The series stands as a record of a specific social moment. It preserves attitudes and pressures from 1980s Britain. Few dramas have captured that era with similar intimacy. Its influence lies in how honestly it represented ordinary lives. That commitment to realism remains its defining legacy.
Recreate the squalor who once lived there.
At least we had a stove in Germany.
If I'd known you were coming, I'd have made some arrangements.
Fact 6.
This is Howard Radcliffe, Dennis. How do you do, Dennis? Your lads settling in all right, are they? Aye, we found a place up the road.
A large portion of Auf Wiedersehen Pet was filmed on location in Düsseldorf, which added significant authenticity to the series. Shooting abroad was unusual for British television drama at the time. The decision increased production costs and logistical complexity. Cast and crew had to adapt to unfamiliar working conditions. Real construction sites were used rather than studio sets. This choice reinforced the physical realism of the work portrayed. Weather conditions often affected filming schedules. Cold and damp environments mirrored the characters' discomfort. The city's industrial landscape became part of the visual identity of the show. German locations were not romanticized or stylized. They appeared functional and impersonal. This reflected how the characters experienced life abroad. Language barriers were real for both characters and production staff. Local workers sometimes appeared as background performers. Their presence added credibility to crowd scenes. Filming on location limited opportunities for reshoots. This encouraged more naturalistic performances. The locations grounded the drama in a recognizable reality.
Oh, that's a good picture. What's the film? Scott of the Antarctic?
Fact 7.
No, she's not about. It's not for the one to try, you know. See. But see, recently I've been reading a lot about alternative medicine, you know.
The scripts of Auf Wiedersehen, Pet were driven by character rather than plot mechanics. Clement and Lafreniere prioritized dialogue that sounded natural and unforced. Conversations often overlapped or drifted, reflecting real speech patterns. Humour emerged from personality clashes rather than structured jokes. Conflict was allowed to build gradually. Writers avoided tidy resolutions to emotional problems. Characters carried consequences from earlier episodes. This continuity strengthened audience investment. Storylines reflected everyday pressures rather than exceptional events. Financial insecurity remained a constant concern. Emotional setbacks were rarely reversed quickly. Writers resisted moralizing character behavior. Flaws were shown without justification or condemnation. This approach respected viewer intelligence. Scripts balanced ensemble interaction with individual focus. No character was reduced to a single trait. The writing style influenced later British drama. It demonstrated the power of restraint.
Does that not alter your plans, though? I mean, presumably that wipes out the jacuzzi and the Nautilus gym and the squash court and the bar and that'll have to go, eh?
Fact 8.
Very reasonable, actually, this was. I guess how much it was. Go on, have a think. Oh, I'm not sure, Bonnie. Let's have a look. Drum roll.
The series presented masculinity as conflicted rather than heroic. Male identity was closely tied to employment and competence. Job insecurity threatened characters' sense of self-worth. Emotional expression was often indirect or masked by humour. Vulnerability appeared through anger or withdrawal. The show avoided glamorizing toughness. Physical strength did not guarantee emotional stability. Friendship served as emotional insurance. Yet it also enforced silence around fear and regret. Male bonding was shown as supportive but limiting. Characters struggled to discuss personal failure openly. Romantic relationships highlighted emotional immaturity. Women were often more emotionally articulate. This imbalance created tension rather than comedy. The series exposed how masculinity constrained communication. These portrayals challenged dominant TV norms. Few dramas addressed male emotional fragility so directly. This honesty contributed to the show's impact. Fact 9.
For me, done good job.
No, it's our privilege, Sergei. I mean, I told you they were the best, didn't I? We haven't let you down. Leave it of your own people.
As the series continued, its scope expanded beyond Germany. Later episodes explored work in other countries. This reflected changing economic conditions. Characters aged and accumulated emotional history. Their optimism diminished over time. Relationships became more strained and complicated. The tone shifted subtly toward reflection. Humor remained but carried more bitterness. Storylines addressed long-term consequences of migration. Family estrangement became more prominent. Characters questioned earlier life choices. Success abroad did not guarantee happiness. The series resisted resetting character arcs. Past decisions continued to shape present conflicts. This continuity rewarded long-term viewers. Later installments acknowledged social change in Britain. The evolving narrative mirrored audience aging. This progression was rare in television drama.
He wants to sort out the Middle East next.
Hold on. Well done, Nev, son. That's great. We're going, man.
Fact 10.
Pina coladas, steak queries.
A bit more exotic than pints of brown here, eh?
Have you ring Mr. Osborne, please?
Oh, Mr. Osborne checked out about half.
Auf Wiedersehen, Pet remains a reference point in British television history. It is frequently cited in discussions of class representation. The series influenced later depictions of working men. Its language and characters remain culturally recognisable. Repeats and revivals sustained its visibility. New audiences discovered it through retrospective broadcasts. Academics have analysed its social realism realism. The show is often used as a teaching example. Its portrayal of labour migration remains relevant. Economic pressures it depicted still exist. The characters continue to resonate across generations. Their struggles feel familiar rather than dated. The series documented a transitional period in Britain. It captured uncertainty without offering solutions. This honesty strengthened its reputation. Few dramas achieved similar balance. Its legacy lies in truthful representation. The series endures through credibility rather than nostalgia.
Where's the next one, then?
Hold your horses, boy, man. I've got a big fat pier day to enjoy yet. I might take the family somewhere.
Fact 11.
Nobody told us. I thought there'd be a password or something.
What, the geese fly at midnight sort of thing?
You know what I mean.
Auf Wiedersehen, Pett offered one of the most detailed portrayals of British working-class men on television. The characters were defined by skill rather than status. Their work was shown as essential but undervalued. Class identity shaped how they viewed authority. Managers and officials were often treated with suspicion. The men relied on experience rather than formal education. Pride in craftsmanship was central to their self-image. Financial insecurity constantly undercut that pride. The series avoided presenting class as victimhood. Instead, it showed resilience mixed with frustration. Humour acted as a defence against marginalisation. Social mobility felt distant and uncertain. The characters rarely believed the system favoured them. Their scepticism reflected broader social attitudes. The show did not offer easy solutions. Class tension was presented as structural rather than personal. This representation felt recognisable to many viewers.
An hour on your mobile from Cuba. What's that going to cost?
Bloody fortune.
Fact 12.
Think. And none of us are pointing any fingers, okay?
Seem decent enough blokes.
I know, just like us, they got families to feed.
Language played a defining role in the show's realism. Regional dialects were preserved without simplification. Swearing was frequent but contextually grounded. Dialogue reflected workplace banter rather than scripted wit. Insults functioned as social bonding. Silence was used as meaningfully as speech. Emotional moments often avoided direct expression. Characters spoke around problems rather than through them. Miscommunication drove tension. Language reinforced group identity. Outsiders struggled to follow conversational rhythms. This heightened feelings of exclusion. The writing trusted audiences to adapt. Subtitles were rarely used. Viewers learned meaning through context. This approach increased immersion. Dialogue became a signature element. It influenced later British drama writing.
Somebody should have marked your card on arrival at a foreign posting. Never leave the newspaper on the bloody plane.
Fact 13.
Birthday, she gave me a daiquiri, just the one. I don't know, I suppose I...
Although focused on male labour, the series gave space to female perspectives. Wives and partners represented stability and sacrifice. They dealt with absence rather than adventure. Emotional labour often fell to women. Relationships strained under distance and uncertainty. Female characters questioned the cost of migration. They challenged male assumptions about duty. Domestic life was shown as equally demanding. Arguments reflected unresolved fear rather than hostility. Women were not idealized or vilified. They were written as pragmatic and emotionally grounded. Their presence highlighted what was at stake. The men's choices affected entire families. Separation created emotional imbalance. Female frustration was depicted with restraint. These perspectives broadened the narrative scope. They prevented the story from becoming insular.
Have you heard of the Buena Vista Social Club?
Oh, no, they're famous now. I saw the film, it's wonderful.
Fact 14. Construction work was portrayed with unusual accuracy. Tasks were shown as skilled and repetitive. Safety risks were visible and acknowledged. Physical fatigue shaped character behaviour. Injuries carried narrative consequences. Work schedules dictated social life. The pace of labour affected mood and conflict. Tools and techniques were authentic. The show avoided glamorising the job. Economic necessity outweighed personal fulfilment. Pride coexisted with exhaustion. Supervisory pressure was constant. constant. Deadlines increased tension. Labour defined daily routine. This realism grounded the drama. Viewers familiar with the work recognised its accuracy. It reinforced the show's credibility.
Yeah, over there.
I'll see you in a minute. You tell that nurse.
Fact 15.
My grandfather was there in the streets of Havana. New Year's Eve, 1958.
Auf Wiedersehen, Pet occupies a distinct place in British television history. It bridged comedy and drama without diluting either. The series challenged assumptions about audience taste. It proved realism could attract mass viewership. Its success influenced commissioning attitudes. Writers gained confidence to explore social issues. The show expanded what workplace drama could achieve. It foregrounded character over spectacle. Its regional specificity became a strength. Later dramas echoed its tonal balance. It is frequently referenced in media studies. The series remains culturally legible decades later. Its themes did not depend on fashion or trends. Economic pressure remains relevant. Emotional displacement still resonates. A few shows from the era retain similar impact. Its historical importance lies in authenticity.